right, we're back with another edition of the Man Vlog, and this time we have a girl in the vlog too. Hey, girl, how you doing? Get down. And the flaming hot topic for today's talk is who is more organized, men or women? In Canada, as you all guys know, take it away.
All right, so who's cleaning? I don't know. I personally can say from a male standpoint and just personal standpoint that I could say I'm pretty organized. I do know that I can get disorganized when I have a lot of stuff on the go, but I will immediately get that taken care of because I like to keep an organized and functional place. So I definitely groom myself. I can let it go when I'm same thing when I'm busy, but then I get my face back in order. Same thing. My hair's, I don't really care about it because I mostly wear a hat. You know, simple, so I can keep myself clean, right?
What about like a house or like an apartment or where you live?
Everything has to have its place. Everything has to have its function. If it
Right.
doesn't have a function, it doesn't belong in my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I have a lot of like a little minimal stuff. That way, it's light to move too.
Right.
As far as how it works, like even laundry and stuff,
Yeah.
I gotta have everything in place. I gotta do everything in a has a
Systematic,
process,
yeah.
but yeah, everything. So that's just me personally. Like, and a lot of guys don't even do that, but me personally, I do that. Women, on the other hand, as far as what I've experienced, I've seen opposite ends of the spectrum, but most of them in the lower end,
Oh, wow.
right? So I've seen, all kinds of shit that just makes me so uneasy.
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 Oh.
Makes look, I'm like, I can feel all the psychological triggers that are, with all those
Making you
experiences.
uneasy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Putting women on the spot. For me, it's been like, so I'll be honest, I'm not a very active or super into organizing my stuff. But I accept that about me. I'm a lazy guy.
Yeah.
So one of the things I learned was that if you're a lazy guy, if you're gonna, let's suppose you're gonna, dishes, then like dishes is the easiest thing. I've lived with men, I've lived with women.
Yeah.
And with men, I've noticed this, you tell them once, explain the reason why, and they will do what is needed to stay organized. Women will argue. And another thing women will do, and some men will do, is they let the dishes pile up. So from my perspective, what happens is this. Exactly. Now you're like going to the kitchen every day, that pile of dishes just keeps growing, and psychologically, in your mind, the pile of work you have to do keeps growing, and the bigger the pile gets, the more you don't want to do it.
Yep.
Until one day when everything is just about to collapse, and then you are forced to do it, and you're miserable, and your mood gets spoiled, and then you lash out on everybody else. So I realized that I'm very bad at cleaning dishes because I've never had to. I was always raised around people who did the dishes for me. So I realized the simplest way to work with this issue was to work with me, in that if I'm lazy, I'm only lazy if there are multiple dishes to be cleaned. So the simplest solution was eat and clean immediately after eating. So that's not too much work, number one, so it appeals to my lazy side. And number two, now because I've already cleaned everything, I don't have a pile of dishes in the kitchen. I've said this to many men as well, who most of them don't understand when they have these pile of dishes that it's psychologically affecting them. But most men that I talk to and I explain, because they'll be like, why do you clean after you eat? And I'm like, because I'm lazy.
I want to do it later.
I won't do it later. I know myself, I'm not living in some fantasy land. Most men actually change, but most girls I lived with, they never got it. They would still they'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then you again see that pile of dishes. And again, it's, especially if you have roommates and stuff, it just leads to resentment, because now, not only do you not want to do it, but your roommates, if they're polite, they won't say anything, but they'll resent you dirtying up the place. And then when you finally do it, now because you don't want to do it, but you have to do it, you're irritated, you're annoyed, and you clean the dishes, and now you're annoyed. And the annoyance that you have pervades your entire house, pervades against your roommates and everything. So just from dishes, it's something that I realized that, that they say like women are very clean and all that, and maybe some of you are, but just from my perspective, overwhelmingly, I haven't lived with any clean women. And the ones that I did live with that were very clean, they would always complain. And I'm pretty going to be straightforward. I'm a man, I have a better immune system than you.
Hell yeah.
It's just biological. I'm just stronger immune wise because I had to go hunting while you had to forage. I don't see all these little dirty things that you guys see. And all the women who ever complain about this, my life, I have a simple philosophy. If you can see it and you can bitch about it, you can clean it.
Fair enough.
If you just want to bitch about it but not clean it, there's the door. Bitch about it at your own house. Because I don't want to spend time with my woman and all we think is bitching about shit. That's just negative. Why would I have negativity in my life? So that was my experience, just with dishes and cleanliness. Just a little bit, like.
I
And
saw that
again,
too.
because you're from Canada and maybe things are different up there. So I don't know what has your experience been in this regard.
Man, I do agree with that. Like when it comes to dishes, I do it right after, like immediately after.
Right.
Like I mean, don't get it wrong, I'm not perfect. Like there's days where I've had a long day, I just don't want to do shit all after eating, go
Right.
straight to bed,
Right.
sleep, replenish,
Right.
and then I'd have those days, of course, but it's just like other days that I'm not like that, clean, right in the. I prefer to have a dish rack. I don't want to use a dishwasher. I feel like it's ridiculous. Like I prefer time cooking, but time cleaning is something else. Like, I'd rather know how much water I'm using. I'd rather, monitor that. I don't know how much water is used in that. You'll be surprised when you get your water bill,
Plus, I think for me, because I don't like cooking and cleaning and all this boring stuff. But for me, it's kind of like meditation,
In a
especially
way.
with cleaning. Like if you're just cleaning a little bit, it's just one of those times when you don't really have to think and you can just focus on the thing. Like a lot of you girls keep asking your boys, like, what are you thinking about? Sometimes we really want to take a break from thinking, and when we say nothing, it literally means we're not thinking about anything. So,
Literally.
back the hell up, because we
Literally.
need this space. We need some time in our day not to think about shit, because that itself is meditation. That's all meditation is, to stop thinking about every other thing.
Yeah. Or just when you're with them and you guys, let's say I'm driving, whatever, and I just suddenly stop talking. I'm like, I finally am able to get into a nice little. It's just like, same thing I've heard. What are you thinking? It's like nothing. No, you have to.
No,
be
you
thinking
have to
about,
figure
you
out
have to be
something.
thinking about something. No,
No, it's okay to zone out.
I'm chilled out.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I noticed when I was living with roommates, bathrooms.
Oh.
Oh my God, I don't know
Okay.
who is
I
pushing
understand
this
hair.
narrative.
Hair is okay, because I mean it does build up, so that's a natural. That's okay. That doesn't matter, But makeup,
And the other stuff, disturbing. It's like every time I go into a woman's bathroom, if she invites me, like, hey, you can use mine, I dread what I will see there, because it's going to be an explosion of litter, unmentionable things that I don't need to want to think about. And it's just that what happened here, like it looks like Vietnam. I mean, like, what happened here, man? It's a freaking bathroom, and I get women have like 20,000 things to do in the bathroom and things that they can use, but that doesn't mean that there's no excuse. Okay, you can say, oh, it's just a woman thing. I can take that as an example, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna say it's all right. I had roommates in Hollywood, and we had a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom because we were like living in a 4-bedroom apartment. Each had our own bedroom, but 2 bathrooms. So the men's bathroom was pretty simple. You had like, we had our cabinet and all our stuff was in the cabinet. We had some hand soap, some deodorant, and maybe one other thing on the outside on the sink. And then, my shaving stuff and my toiletries were in the cabinet, his were in the cabinet. It was pretty simple. Once, and only once it happened, like before we were going out, my friend was using the bathroom. So I asked the girls and they were like, yeah, just use our bathroom. I opened the door, which is like opening the gates to hell.
it's like opening Pandora's box.
Jesus, man. This was like, there was nothing. There
Was
was
her
no
name
place. I had no idea, man. She definitely was kind of blue in the face after that. There was no place on the sink. It was full of trash. The bin was overflowing with unmentionable shit.
Oh my God,
The shower curtain was dirty. The floor was littered. I had to tiptoe over slippers and soft rugs just to take a leak.
yeah.
And it was just like, how do you live like that?
On the grime that builds up on it.
Yeah,
too.
it's
just
aren't you in the
the
movies?
porcelain doesn't shine no more. Like
The porcelain is like, it's sad. It's sad-ceiling now. Cause
sad silhouette.
it's not even porcelain, man. Because it's like on TV, they tell you guys that women are so clean and wow, men are so slothful. Not really. That doesn't jive with the real world reality that I've seen and I've noticed. And that's the bathroom experience. And it's not just one woman, mind you. It was just those. It's just been a consistent pattern of slothfulness and slovenliness. And I will give credit to some women I've dated that were usually from very conservative cultures, that they were very clean because they probably had very good fathers and mothers who instilled that in them. But even they would get slothful, you know, and you can come to my place, but there's a basic level of cleanliness that I keep. If you can improve on that, great. But if you're gonna mess that up, I'm gonna kick you out. So, yeah, that was my bathroom horror story.
Okay, now I'm not gonna get into detail of my bathroom horror stories.
But it's funny
But,
though, because this is the things that, you know, they mess about with us for.
Yeah.
But anyways, what?
Like I find that like I said, I've seen opposite ends of the spectrum. I appreciate the ones who are clean. I appreciate the ones who keep things in order, and you know, that's like really really good because your place is always clean. Every time you walk in, you have a really nice place to come home to. Right, and I appreciate that. But then there's the opposite end of the spectrum where nothing's clean unless somebody's coming over.
Oh yes, yes.
You know, like that's what I hated so much.
Yes, I know that. Yes. When they throw a party or some friend is coming over, then they do this insane frenzy of cleaning happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, don't get it twisted. If that's a person's lifestyle and that's what they prefer, that's cool. And that's cool. But it's just like, I couldn't handle that. Like, I really can't. It irritates me because I'm like, I'm systematic and everything I do is to better my living, right? So I can't handle that because it's like I'm trying to better my living. That means I want a clean place also, which I will systematically and without thinking about it, just do it. And it's part of my routine. And
because you want a clean place because you want to be clean versus you want a clean place to show others that you are clean, which means you're basically not clean. You just want to be perceived as clean.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on, guys.
It's interesting, though.
You know,
like,
it's not even. We shouldn't even be talking about this because, like I said, it's a biological fact that men have stronger immune systems than women. Like, we can deal with your level of cleanliness. You're the ones who get sick. So logically, it doesn't even make sense why you would be messier than men, you know. But
oh man, even like I find that women are a lot more when it comes to like even things like Advil and Tylenol and stuff like that. I find that they use them so much more. It's like it's more in their vocabulary. They carry it around in their purse.
Oh, medication.
You know what I mean? And that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think about that and I go, that's I don't see too many men carrying around too much
Advil and
Tylenol.
Tylenol,
You know, I've seen some people with heavy stress jobs where they have it at their desk, you know, and then it's just like even that sometimes questionable because I'm like,
It's just masking it instead of curing it.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we're going to talk about next time. And that is something that's a great point that I definitely want to talk about. But hey, so those are our thoughts on who are cleaner among men and women. If there are a lot of angry women out there or angry men out there who would like to hate us, click subscribe and drop a comment so we can address your angry comments. Or hey, if you just agree with us, why not show some support as well, right?
Yeah, and today's question of the day, if you want to throw your answers in the comments section, you can say, what was the nastiest thing you ever found in a woman's bathroom?
Oh my God.
We're going to have some really interesting ones.
So until next time, always remember, keep it cool, keep it sexy, and enjoy.